friends, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Inspired Swati. This is your girl Daladi Dlamini. I'm so excited today because you know this guy, right? Yes, his name is Mr. Sifiso Daladi Dlamini. He is an extraordinary man. He's a businessman. He is a philanthropist. He is also into agriculture, and today we get an opportunity to have a heart-to-heart with him. I'm so excited, you guys. You don't understand. I'm going a bit groovy, just a little bit, but it's all good. Anyway, I know that a lot of us know him. We've seen him on the newspapers, on the media, etc. But we don't exactly know him. The man behind Mfuleni Lifestyle Center, the man behind Mfuleni Hotel. But today on Inspired Swati, we got you covered. We got the scoop. Welcome, Kosi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you so much for agreeing.
Nice intro.
And you know, I was so nervous, like when I had to start, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't trip on my tongue right now.
I know, right?
Yeah, thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of this crazy project called Inspired Swati. But we're just all about making a meaningful difference and inspiring Emma Swati out there to live a better life, to be great. Let's get right into it. Yeah?
I'm ready.
I'm gonna adjust my camera just a little bit. Hold it. Yes. Because today is not my interview, it's your interview. So, Daladi. Is it okay if I call you Daladi?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, but I'm sure on your birth certificate you don't have that. You actually have an actual name.
Yeah.
So please give us a bit about your background, who you are, where you come from, you know, the works, growing up, how was your life, highs, lows, the works.
Yo, where do you start? Sheesh. That's a lot. Anyway, I was born Sifiso Daladi, and should I tell you when? Because it's a long time.
No, it's fine. We'll let it slide.
So
I'm also approaching 30, so
yeah.
okay.
So it's like
I don't want to reveal
my
anymore.
age, right? Yeah. So and I grew up at my granny's. So I'm granny's boy, you know, Gogo's boy. So I grew up there in Mazini. I'm one of 3 kids. I'm the oldest. Is it the eldest? And it's 2 boys and 1 girl. It was a very humble beginning.
Humble beginnings to
Well,
this now.
It's still humble to some degree. Yeah, so I grew up there. Started off very early doing, work. My grandmother she used to have chickens. She used to rear chickens, so I was the chicken guy.
I like where this is going.
Yeah, I used to wake up early in the morning to pluck the feathers of the chickens and do all of that drama.
I can't do that.
Yeah, it was hectic. So, yeah, that was my life. Went to St. Paul's Primary, and then moved up to Markhams Valley for a second. Then moved back to St. Paul's for whatever reason.
Okay. Well, let's pause right there. FYI, my mom used to teach this guy,
Yeah.
My whole entire mother.
I know,
La
right?
Ferreira.
Yeah, and I was shocked when I found out. I was like, what?
Yes.
Anyway, so she taught me secondary. Then from there I went to St. John Bosco. On completion.
So you're a Manzini boy through and through.
Yeah, very much. So.
Rema represents.
Yeah, very much so. That's the one thing I don't think still.
But we still love them nonetheless.
Yeah, of course.
We need their business.
Of course, we
right?
need them.
Yeah.
They're cool like that. So, yeah, so then from there I went to Markhams, did my thing there, finished, and then went to varsity. Did a first degree in agriculture. First of all, I did a diploma, and then I did a degree. And then I started to look for a job, and it was long. I waited a year to get my first job. In the meantime, I was just struggling.
That mustn't have been easy. It must have been.
It was very hard, especially when you advertise. When people advertise and you apply and you don't get it. I think though that it changed with the way that I think. Now I just think differently. I don't like being employed. I probably never, ever will be employed.
Can you hear that? Oh.
Yeah. So from there, eventually I got my first job at World Vision. I was a project manager.
Really?
Yeah, I just jumped into that in agriculture. I worked for a year, 2 years. I got tired. I got out. If it's boring, I get out. So I got out 2 years, and I went to work for micro projects. Yeah, I did.
Those are my homies.
I worked with them for like a year, and I got bored. And and I resigned, so I left. Then from there I went into the world of hustle.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the story behind the great man that we know today. So what I'm getting basically is that you come from humble beginnings. You were the chicken guy assisting your grandmother in her chicken business.
Yes.
So that I think that's basically where your entrepreneurial spirit was inculcated.
Yeah, it was such an eye opener. Initially, when you're a young man and you're thrown into the chicken coop, you don't really like that.
Mm-hmm.
It smells, it's all these other things. But at the end of the day, it taught me that you need to sell something to someone. Whether it's a service or it's a good, it's a product, you need to sell it to make money. And she did. She made a bit of money. She built some houses for rental. For a granny, she did pretty well.
Yes, and for that time, right?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And she taught me that, and I've never looked back, actually.
So guys, I hope you understand that you should never ever despise humble beginnings, because you start small and then you grow from there, Even with your background, don't necessarily look down upon it because you don't know what tomorrow holds. So, Sifiso, I wanted to also find out now. I wanted to find out about your passions. What are you passionate about? I heard you worked for World Vision at some point in time in micro projects. Just a kaleidoscope of, career paths. What are you passionate about? What drives you when you wake up in the morning?
It may seem like it's funny, but I'm passionate about being passionate. For me, if you look at micro projects, you look at World Vision, all of those were just a means to an end. Really, it was just getting employment. But I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about results. I'm passionate about being a pioneer. Getting into a space that is predominantly some other people's space and getting in there and pushing it only in that space. So for me, it's give me a bush and then say, take this bush and turn it into something. That's what I'm passionate about. I like to see the results of all my hard work, this being one of them.
Exactly, right.
So cool.
You like our studio, guys. This is actually like one of the rooms. I'll show you guys a snippet later. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so I'm passionate about people as well, which is why I do what I do to do the motivational journey that I'm on now with the schools and some of the corporates, just to get people to the next level, to believe in themselves and to believe that they can do it, because I was taught early on that I can be whatever I want to be.
So, Sifiso, I want to know, how did your journey into business start? Walk me through it.
Okay, when I quit my job at Micro Projects,
I'm sure it was a loss though.
I actually just walked out, without, and I went into business.
You had an epiphany or something happened at work where you're like, you know what, this BS, I'm out of here. No.
Well, pretty much. What happened was, I sat back and I looked at the effort I was putting. I did the most projects in the shortest possible time, and the reward was the same. So it was the same as everyone else that didn't do, maybe not even as half of what I've done. So I decided, okay, I'm leaving, and I left. I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I was not going to stand for this thing. So I took a very big leap, but fortunately I didn't have much debt. I pretty much had everything that I needed. And, little life, just content. Small. Yeah, everything was there.
City golf.
Yeah, I had a little.
The starter pack, the Midland starter
pack. I actually
pack.
had the golf bucky, the caddy, the small one.
Okay,
yeah. So I was like, it was like, that car was like maybe 40,000. It was cheap and it was brand new. So you see how long ago that was. But anyway, and then I found this piece of land where we have the hotel now, and I grew cabbages here.
Farming.
Yeah. So I grew cabbages.
Get your land. Get your land.
So I grew cabbages and I would sell them. And then.
So how many hectares was it?
It was just 2 hectares in total.
That's big though.
Well, not really in the large scheme of things.
Okay.
But it was enough to get me going, and also it was, a means to an end. But whilst I was doing that, I kept getting, going to Vickery Seedlings to find seedlings. And I get there, they've run out. Or they have them, but they are for such and such a farmer, and so and so and so and so. So it really then pissed me off in a sense. I decided, you know what, I'm going to build my own nursery, right? So
from farming your own cabbages to
Yeah.
be like, you know what, the supply isn't steady right now, so you know what, I'm actually just going to build my own nursery.
Yes.
Talk about vision.
Yeah, so I built my
Exciting.
own, and with the one that by the end of it, we were doing 20 million seedlings a year. So it wasn't small anymore. It was actually,
Lots of monies.
well,
That's lots of money.
it wasn't in money terms. It was in numbers. So we became the second biggest nursery by volume in Swaziland after Vickery. And
How old were you at this time?
I was 28.
28.
Yeah.
Guys, do you like, I'm not dealing right now. At 28,
Yeah.
you were competing with Vickery.
Yeah,
Seedlings.
actually you'd get a call from them to
supply them.
No, please adjust your prices because you're killing us here. It's like,
And the entire 28.
yeah. No,
Wow.
my nursery was the first one to actually be given authorization by the Minister of Agriculture. So we got our stamp, the research department, yeah. So we were, there's a phytosanitary certificate that they give you for cleanliness and, for doing things right. And we passed and we became the nursery.
And then you decided to build a hotel over the nursery. I'm joking, we'll get to that. Because remember guys, where we are right now, there's a hotel, a beautiful one must I add. But there was a nursery at some point in time, I've seen it, but we'll hear a bit more on that later on. I just wanted to also find out, what is your take on mentors? Do you believe in the whole mentor-mentee relationship? Have you had mentors in your life? If so, how has that really helped you, having a mentor?
You can't get very far without one. Because a mentor is someone that will inspire you. It's someone that's been there. The journey that you are walking, they've actually walked that journey already. And they're better equipped to help you, to not to make the same mistakes that they've made.
I want you to also clarify this, just as you continue answering the question. Some other people feel like when you have a mentor, they expect the mentor to make monetary contributions to your investment or to your enterprise. Is it always the case, or are we getting it twisted?
No. It's for me. My mentors have never given me money. What they give me is
they're there already, but they're not necessarily giving you money. But
no, because I've never even asked. I have my main mentor is a man called Alan Calvo, and he's a billionaire.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. And he's taught me so much. You have to have somebody that even when it gets bad, you can go back to and say, hey, you know what, it's bad. I remember one time I was struggling with the past business because we had a problem with drought in the country. It wasn't raining enough. And because of that, people were not buying as much.
Yes,
so, that whole ripple effect. So I went to him and I said to him, hey, this is what's happening. And he said to me, did you think it was going to be easy? And I said to him,
preach,
well,
mentor.
I thought you were going to be sympathetic. He says, to some degree I am, but this is business. It's never set in concrete. If it was easy, everyone would do it. So from there I picked up and I dusted myself. I wiped my tears and I was off to the next one, which is what then happened with the business that I changed to what this is. So just to answer your question, yes, we need mentors. You have to have a mentor. And it's not necessarily someone in the same field as you or someone that is in the same field as you want to be.
Okay.
But it's someone that has experience. You could have a PM as your mentor. You
Hint, hint.
You could have anyone that you think would be able to share, wisdom with you.
And I think also you need to click with this mentor at some point in time, right? Like, there should be some supersonic chemistry between the two of you
It
guys
develops.
over time.
It develops. Initially, you know, especially with people that have made it, you know, they're quite aloof, you know. They're in their own space. And some of them, like this gentleman here, he's trying to see him, he's like very hard, you know. But now it's become so easy because now we're good, you know. He has a phone, never answers it. And you ask him, where's your phone? He's like, I don't know, I haven't seen it for a week even.
My Nokia 3310.
Yeah, so it develops. After a while, you then become, you know, you become one with your mentor.
Wow. So guys, I think it's very clear. It is important that we also get support systems as we make our journey along this whole, you know, business pathway that we're taking. I have another question that I would like to ask. Yes, lots of questions for you today. I wanted to find out, this one is a very interesting one.
Really?
Give me 5 of your biggest achievements. It could be either personal, because I know your personal life has a huge implication or impact on your business or on your overall success. 5, it could be personal, it could be business. 5 of your most amazing achievements that you look at yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, I'm the ish.
Yeah, well, the first one is the birth of my kids, both of them. Swati and Sanele.
How old are they now?
They are...
Okay, no, let's not expose
I don't even know.
Then we're going to start trying to calculate your age and...
I'm so bad with years.
wow.
In particular those, I spent a lot of time with them. That was a very big highlight of my life. Another one would be, you know, establishing my first business and getting out of employment. As hard as it was such an achievement. And, you know, seeing, I had a database of 400 farmers, you know, that were full-time customers, you know, just doing that was great. You know, the first day that we started building a Millionaire lifestyle, that was like, because it was a dream.
But none of us could understand what was happening. We'd pass by and we're like, okay, yeah, we can see there's like an agricultural project on the side, but then now there's bricks. You know what's happening. And I think I will link it to the whole construction aspect. I'll link it to your time in micro projects, because I know micro projects does a lot of capital projects also, right? Okay. So yes, you were saying.
Yeah, so that was nice. Just to see it come together. That was a very, I thought, the completion of this phase 1 of this hotel, that was like, wow, you know. I mean, I went into each room on completion, and I sat there and I thought, wow.
Guys, you need to come. Yeah, when I walked in, I was like, wow, that's why you need to come here. You need to see this place. It's absolutely stunning. Wow.
Yeah. So.
And then your final one.
What's my final one? My first car. You know, I picked it up from the dealership. That was like, because I had no car, right? And you know, public transport ain't so nice.
Sure, the struggle is so real.
So that was like, because it was my own effort, my own money. You know, it was me. I had fought and I got it, and it didn't matter how small it was.
Sure.
You know, it shouldn't matter how small your achievement is. It is your achievement. No one can take it away from you.
It is your achievement, no matter how
small it is.
Power bombs right there.
Yeah. So that was it. Yeah, I was very chuffed with that. You know, to this day, if I had the chance to keep my car and just keep it even for, I don't know, whoever will drive it, I would have kept it because it was such a thing to me.
Oh wow, that is so amazing, guys. I'm beyond inspired, and I hope you guys are also inspired. I mean, at such a young age, having to achieve so much, looking at where he started with his first business, selling cabbages, the biggest nursery in Swati, moving from permanent employment, secure check and lifestyle, to actually starting out in entrepreneurship and having a vision, having a vision for the future. As I was saying, when this facility was being built, none of us understood what is happening. But now when we see the culmination of it all, when we see the hottest spot in Eswatini, and then we also see the hotel, like my jaw just drops on the floor, right? Yeah. Okay. I have another question, of course.
Right.
Tell me something that a whole lot of people don't know about you. Something interesting, something quirky, something that people may not know. It's okay, Daladi likes this, or he's like this,
I don't even have too many quirky things. But
did you know that he's a biker? Maybe
yeah.
you didn't know that.
No, I ride, yeah.
When did you start riding?
At 13.
Ah! I used to ride also.
Really?
But
Yeah.
like I was at university.
Yeah, I started riding at 13. I started riding motocross. So,
yeah. You have the dirt bikes and
dirt
everything.
bikes, yeah. Started with motocross, and then I went to super bikes.
Yeah.
And then went to quads.
Okay.
So now with the old people, I'm riding Harleys.
The Harleys like this. Low leaning, and making so much noise.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Very loud. Yeah, but the one thing that I do differently maybe is when I have a thought or an idea.
Okay.
In the middle of the night, I always sleep. My bedside's always got a pen and a notepad.
A pen and a notepad.
Yeah. So if I dream about something, I wake up and I write it. Whether it's 1 in the morning, it's 12 at night, whatever the time is, I wake up and I write it. And then in the morning, I go through it and then I expand on what I've written. So Millionaire lifestyle was one of those things that came.